So I peer pressured Landon into getting me flowers because my teeth are going to jail today. And they're so pretty. Just so pretty. Hi, hello, and welcome to today's video. My name is Kat, and thank you so much for joining me today. Do you notice anything? Anything at all? No? Okay. So I got braces on Friday. I have not always had braces, for those that might be new to my face, if that's the right word. And I'm excited, I'm anxious, I'm feeling a lot of things. And so I just kind of wanted to chat today about why I got braces and what my first few days with them have been like. And before we get started, if you are new here, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and gave this video a thumbs up. I promise I will make it worth your time. Okay, let's get started and let me set the stage for you. So I started university in 2015. My parents were nice enough to cover my first year of tuition, but after that, I needed to figure out how to save $8,500 a year. And that's a lot of money, you know, especially for somebody who can only work part-time and, you know, still has to make time to do their schoolwork and attend classes and all that. So it was kind of hard managing all those things, but you know, I did graduate, so I guess that's good, yay. But yeah, anyways, back to talking about teeth. In my first year, second semester, I went to a dentist because in the cost of my tuition, I had a $750 deductible for dental insurance. Just dental insurance only. No prescription drugs or vision or anything like that, only dental. And if you are a person who has really good oral health, that's going to be enough for you. But if you're not, it's not. And I'm one of those people who has always had really bad luck with teeth. And so I went to a dentist in my first year, second semester of university, and I did a new patient exam, and that ran me down about $300 or something. So I only had $450 left to use for my dental insurance. But the bill that they gave me was a lot. It was a lot. It was about $2,000 because one of the fillings that I had broke, or it ran down. It basically stopped filling. And so I needed a root canal because the tooth was now infected. And then I had 3 cavities that needed just regular fillings, and then they needed me to do a cleaning. So that's a lot of money, $2,000 minus whatever I get covered from the $450 that was left. It was like 400. It was like 400 something. It wasn't exactly 450. But anyways, we're looking at about $1,600. And for somebody who needs to save $8,500 so that they can go to school in the preceding year, it's not gonna happen. It just wasn't gonna happen. So I got the cleanings and I got the fillings because I had enough coverage to cover that. But when it came to the root canal, I had to let the tooth die. It's really hard to talk about, so apologies if I seem a little emotional at moments. But yeah, I had to let that tooth die. And from that time on, the cost of dental insurance just added on to my general anxiety about going to the dental office, because I forgot to mention, but I do kind of have a fear of the dentist. And I also struggle with mental health issues. And that's another really hard thing to talk about. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And that's where that discussion is gonna end on that. So I was not able to take care of my teeth, nor was I able to pay somebody to help me take care of my teeth. So I'm not really set up for success here in the first place. And between school and everything, I was just so busy that even when I was in a really good space, things just kind of flew by, and I wasn't taking care of my teeth. I was living off of candy and soda and coffee. Like, it was not a good time. Flash forward a year from that dental appointment where I decide my tooth is just gonna die, I guess. I have a tooth break. This is also really hard to talk about. The tooth that broke is actually a tooth I already had a root canal on, and we never got a cap on it because it was just something that was really expensive and we couldn't afford. But I was always really careful with this side of my mouth. I tried to avoid chewing on this side of my mouth, and they would refill the restoration that they had around it on an as needed basis. Because I wasn't going to a dentist, nobody was refilling it, so it broke. And I didn't tell anybody. I didn't do anything about it because all I was thinking about was how much money it was going to cost how painful it would be. I was feeling so ashamed of myself for not being able to get this looked after, and I was just feeling so much regret and emotional pain over this. And so 4 years went by with that broken tooth, with that dead tooth sitting in my head, until something clicked in me this year where I was just like, I really need to go to a dentist because I can't keep going on like this. It took a lot of my power to be able to call a dentist, and it took a lot of power for me to go to that dental office and go get that appointment and talk to them about what was happening in my mouth. I actually am going to the same dentist as Landon, my boyfriend. He suggested for me to go there because they're really, really nice, and they're very gentle, and they're very caring people, and they are. So I feel grateful that I was able to find somebody who would be able to, you know, help me and just not like judge me or shame me. So yeah, I was mentally preparing for what they were gonna tell me. I nearly like threw up. Like I was like in the middle of a panic attack during the new patient exam where they scale and they count your teeth. Oh my god, I was about to cry. I was actually at the verge of tears while they were doing it because I was just like so freaked out because they had like their scales in my mouth and I could feel it moving. Oh, it was just awful. So yeah, I went and I did it, and I finally got help, and I think that's what matters because that's a very, very hard thing to do when you have anxiety around dental work and you're just generally scared about what you're gonna find when you go for the first time in many years. So what they discovered basically was that I definitely needed a cleaning because it had been 4 years since I had a cleaning. I had 2 cavities that they wanted to get looked after. And then when it comes down to my dead tooth and my broken tooth, this is what happened. So the broken tooth is actually my first molar, and the infected tooth is also my first molar, but on this side. So both of my first molars on my bottom jaw, they said that these teeth do not have a positive prognosis. So they said, we would like to pull those 2 teeth. You could try to save them, but you're going to spend thousands trying to save them. And then at the end of it, you might just have to pull it anyways. So they said, you know, we think that it's for the best if you just get rid of them. Just get them out. When they told me that, I had a feeling that it was gonna be a very, very bad outlook for those 2 teeth. I just like cried and I cried, and I wanna cry thinking about it now because I felt so much shame and regret that it got to that point. But they said that I was actually kind of lucky because I could get braces, even though those 2 teeth needed to be removed and are going to be removed. I have severe overcrowding in my smile. I think these are called incisors. They are both rotated outwards and they don't fit on my bottom row of teeth. And on the top, my canines haven't fully descended. In fact, one of them is actually all the way up here. Having crooked teeth actually worked out for me in this case because those molars, those first molars, can be taken out and they can make room for these smaller teeth to kind of come in, and then they can kind of move those molars up. That's kind of the way that the dentist described what they might be able to do with orthodontics. And so he told me, take your time, search around your area, do some consultations, and find an orthodontist that works for you. Find somebody close to your house because, you know, you're going to be seeing them all the time. So I did. I went out and I did some research and I did 2 consultations. The first consultation I had went really, really well. I also had an emotional breakdown at that consultation, but they were very, very nice about it, which was a very good sign for me. They agreed with what the dentist told me and said that's definitely something that they can do for me. So I will be having 4 teeth removed, and I'll probably do a video about that if you're interested in that. I'm going to be getting all those nasty teeth out of my head, and I have braces on now. Another thing too is that I need to have my wisdom teeth removed, not like right away, but it's definitely something that I need to look into doing over the next like year or 2. But I finally got to a point where I could just like get this metal on my mouth. I got all the fillings that I needed to get done, and now is extractions next, and then we're going to be putting on the rest of my braces. Okay, so that's kind of how I got to where I am now. So let me tell you about my first few days with braces. I wrote down some notes, so don't mind if like I'm looking up and down a bunch. Ooh, sorry. So going into the office, I would say that I was feeling nervous and I was a little scared, I'm not gonna lie, But I was excited. At the end of the day, I was excited because I knew that this was a step in the right direction and that this was just something that I needed to do to improve my quality of life and to improve my smile and my teeth in general. So I was feeling good about that, even though I was definitely kind of scared. It was a very easy procedure. You know, there was no like really loud noises or machinery in my mouth, which made me really happy because those are the kinds of things that trigger my anxiety. And it took about an hour and it's so easy. They're basically just like gluing the brackets on and then they put the wires on, and putting the wires on is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's nothing like super serious or anything. Because I have teeth that are being pulled, I don't have all of my brackets on yet. I am missing a couple just because the dentist needs to be able to get in there and take them out. So I have like 90% of my braces on. I have them on up to here and here, all the way through. The best part is choosing your colors. I wanted something that was light and kind of neutral. I don't know if you can see, but I went with lavender. Sorry about my skin. I'm on my period, so I'm breaking out a bunch. Right away, like when she was like, you're done, and she took the expanding thing out of my lips, it was awkward to like get my lips over my teeth. I don't know how to close my mouth. It was like so awkward. You actually get used to it really quickly. There wasn't any pain right away or any sort of sensitivity like at that moment. They told me that it was gonna start getting a little bit more sensitive after like a few hours. So I did take an Advil just like as a preemptive measure. Pretty much for the rest of the day, I was in no pain. I did stick to eating like recommended foods. I didn't try to like stray from what they suggested, just because I'm paying a lot of money for this and I need this to go well. It's literally like life or death of my teeth here if this doesn't go well. So I very much stuck to their recommended foods. I had a fruit cup, I had yogurt and mac and cheese for my lunch. Brushing made me really anxious because I was so worried about the brackets popping off, but like they're not going anywhere. Those elastics, they're not going anywhere. Like, you're gonna be good, so don't stress out about brushing your teeth if that's something you're worried about. Once nighttime rolled around, it was like 10 o'clock. There was like a little bit of pressure. It was like pretty bearable, but like it wasn't like pain. But then I flossed and that hurt a lot. They gave me a couple orthodontic flossers. So they're the ones that like the edge kind of fits under your wire and you can just like go in there, and that really hurt. I did switch to like thread flossing midway just because it was like so awful, so unbearable. And I don't have my water flosser yet. It's at my mom's house and I'm gonna be picking it up next weekend. So I did end up going to McDonald's and getting a soft serve. I recommend on your first day with braces treating yourself to a soft serve at the end of the day, because like you got braces, you should be very proud, and you deserve to treat yourself to ice cream. So that was kind of like my first day, and then as the days have been going on, because I'm on day 3 now, I've noticed a couple things. I find myself smiling a lot. I'm just like looking in the mirror and I'm smiling all the time. And I think it's because even though it doesn't look super great right now, I know that in a couple months it's gonna look fantastic, and once they're off, they're gonna look amazing. So I know what the potential is here, and the potential is what's keeping me going. If anybody's curious, I did eat chocolate on the second day. I just took a little piece of it and I melted it in my mouth and I just like enjoyed it. I really did savor it. So that was like kind of fun and special to do. I did end up having a little bit of swelling in the morning when I woke up on the second day with braces, but I just put a little bit of that like canker sore gel over it and I let it sit for a couple hours and it was pretty much good after that. Also, I have noticed that I'm only on day 3 and they say it takes about a week for your mouth to toughen up. And it's already really toughening up. And I think it's because I have actually been not using the dental wax. I know some people out there go through that first pack in like their first day. I'm on day 3 and I haven't used any dental wax today, which is like a flex, I guess. Sorry, that was so lame. But I do notice that as I talk a lot more, the coil is definitely causing me a bit of irritation. So I might be like a total hypocrite and just put on some dental wax after this video. I feel really good about this whole process and I'm really excited to be able to finally have good teeth for once in my life. Like 13-year-old me always wanted braces, and I was so jealous when like all my friends were getting braces when I was in high school. But you know what? Life is not a race, guys. You get them when you get them. It's not a big deal. I have them on now, and that's what matters. I want to say this too, is that I have never been the kind of person to judge somebody for their outward appearance, because you never know what somebody is going through. You don't know what their life is like. If you're out here judging people because of their teeth, like, I hate you. Like, straight up, I hate you. Like, I just gotta say it. Like, I don't like you, and we'll never get along, and you need to check yourself, because there's so much privilege to being able to have perfect teeth your whole life. I am 23 now, and only now am I getting to a point where I will have a healthy, beautiful smile by the time I'm 25. If you enjoyed today's messy video, I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel. I talk about all sorts of things such as beauty, fashion, handbags. I freaking love handbags. I won't be buying a lot of handbags anymore though, because I gotta pay for these teeth. That's all for me, guys. I will see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day and smile, baby. Bye!